Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today is a very exciting day for me. It's one of the most exciting days for my channel so far because I get to do something that I've always wanted to do and never had the opportunity to before. I get to give you guys a sneak peek at a product that hasn't come out yet. I am going to show you the new Alien vs Predator, the Hunt Begins Elite Predators Unicast miniatures from Prodos Games. These miniatures are currently up for pre-order on the Prodos Games website, but they do not become available on general release until March. I have been sent these early by Prodos Games so that I can show them to you, and that's pretty awesome because I've never had an opportunity to do that before. So this is a sneaky preview, first look at the new Elite Predator miniatures. Like I say, thank you very much to Prodos Games for sending these to me, and I will put a link down in the description below for anybody who would like to go to the Prodos Games website and order these for themselves. For anybody who doesn't know, Alien vs Predator miniatures are Unicast. You can see they say Unicast down here. Not all of them. The miniatures from the first edition of the game were regular multi-piece kits, and there's a recent release of Cloaked Predators, which are also multi-piece kits that you assemble. But most of the second edition miniatures and all of the forthcoming releases are Unicast. And what that means is Prodos Games have developed a new technology that allows them to create single-piece resin miniatures. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, there's nothing new about that. Loads of games have single-piece miniatures. In that, yes and no, really. In a lot of cases, what people might assume are single-piece miniatures are in fact factory-assembled miniatures. Because if you want to create a miniature that has a very dynamic pose, you can't really do that in a single piece, the way that molding technology works. From my understanding as a layman, I am not in the business of manufacturing miniatures, but in my understanding, if you go too extreme with your dynamics in the pose of the miniatures, then you will require multiple pieces. But many games do ship with miniatures that have been pre-assembled in a factory. Before I show you these, show you an example. I use Dungeons & Dragons Castle Ravenloft miniatures because they just happen to be the miniatures that are very close at hand at the moment. So this is a Dragonborn warrior, and it's a nice enough miniature, but it is a single piece miniature, and you can see that if you put it to the side, it's got a very planar pose. That's not to say it doesn't have any character. I mean, you can have a lot of character in single piece miniatures. There are many miniatures, looking at things like Oathsworn Games, Burrows and Badgers miniatures, and things like that. It is possible to have single piece miniatures that have a lot of character. But who remembers the old Hero Quest miniatures, where all the orcs were standing facing straight on with their weapons up over their heads? That was so that they could be single piece miniatures. And that's pretty much sort of a similar stance to what you get here with the Dragonborn. So yeah, that's a single piece miniature. Here's another example. The Skelly Bum. And as you can see, if we turn him on the side, it's the same there. It's a very flat, two-dimensional pose. It's still a cool miniature. Nothing wrong with it. But if you want to do things like give the miniature more 3D depth, if you want to have a more dynamic pose, or even just have it so that like arms are crossing over or sticking out from the body, you have to cast in multiple pieces. Here's a wizard from the same game, from Castle Ravenloft, and you can see that in the pose, he's got one hand crossing across the front of his body as he creates this fireball spell. And if we turn to the side, that should come out on camera, you can see a dirty great join down there. And that is because this arm section here had to be cast separately. And then it was assembled in a factory. I didn't have to put that together. It came in the box like that. But it is not a single piece miniature. And one final example, because you didn't tune in to look at Castle Ravenloft miniatures. This guy here, obviously a more complicated pose again. And we can see join lines for the wing, around the wing section, and also a join up under the neck. So again, he came out of the box like that, but not a single piece miniature. Creating a single piece miniature that is incredibly dynamic and also incredibly detailed is quite a feat of engineering. And that is what the Unicast process does. What you're getting is miniatures with the kind of quality of sculpt and detail that you would see in other major brands of miniature gaming. So you're getting a very high level of detail that you would see on things like Games Workshop miniatures, but you're not getting the construction. They're already assembled. Some people will think it's fantastic that you can open this box and your Predators are already assembled and ready to play. Other people may look at it and think it's a bit disappointing that they don't have easy customization options, which is one of the benefits of having multi-pose kits that you assemble yourself. But anyway, these are what they are, and I do love the Unicast range. I haven't actually looked at these miniatures yet. These have just turned up in the post. So this is a very exciting moment for me. Let's have a look at what we got. Got a box I can't open. We've got a box of bubble wrap. Ooh. Right, I'm going to put them to one side. We're doing one at a time. So this is a set of 3 Elite Predators. The rules for these guys are in the new Alien vs Predator Hot Landing Zone expansion, which I have unboxed in my previous video. So if you have a look at my playlist, you'll see that I've already had a little look at that expansion. But yeah, the rules for these guys are in that. We have a very cool dynamic pose. Check that out. And you can see, I mean, you can see the 3D depth of the miniature. The arms are forward, the weapon is across the chest. To have that kind of thing, and the detailing up, I don't know if I can get that to come out, but the detailing up and underneath the spear, the mesh, everything else. That is pretty fabulous. No mask on this chap, so you get to see the full effect of the mandibles, which is always cool. I do like to see Predators in the mask, but it's nice to have them occasionally with the masks off, so you can see them in all their ugly glory. He's sort of launching off of this this metal plate here, leaping into combat, and there is an alien tail. This is something that is consistent across all of these Unicast miniatures, are the pre-sculpted, really detailed bases. There's some skulls, quite a lot of skulls, and yeah, cool tail. He's got in his belt there, I don't know if that's going to come out, but he's got a classic flintlock pistol stuffed into his belt there. That's quite cool. Anybody who's seen the Predator movies, particularly the second movie, will know that and some of the comics, in fact, will know that the Elite Predators quite fond of proving a point as to how long they've been around, beating us up. There's a cool knife on the other side as well. That's pretty neat. Serrated. So that's cool. That's a really nice miniature. I like that a lot. Okay, next up we've got this guy. Another great dynamic pose. He's got one of the throwing discs, and these you see these in action quite a lot in the Alien vs Predator movie. Scar uses one of these to decapitate or semi-decapitate an alien, and also I believe he slices a facehugger in half with one of them. But yeah, that's very cool. And the way that pose, the figure's leaning into the throw, that's very cool. The back arm has got the single blade, and that's actually reminiscent of the blade that Chopper has. I think it's Chopper. I want to say Chopper. In Alien vs Predator, there's 3 predators. There's Scar. There's Celtic, who has the fight with the alien that gets the grid lines on its head. And then there is Chopper, I believe. And Chopper is got these big blades. So that's quite cool. Of course, these are elite predators, and I believe in Alien vs Predator they're supposed to be relatively new to the hunt rather than being elite, but obviously using some of the same technology. That's a very cool miniature though. More skulls. Not sure why the predators are leaving their skulls lying around all over the place. Those are your trophies, mate. Get them up on the shelf. But either way, another very cool, very dynamic pose. Just look at the detailing on the back. Absolutely fantastic. And like I say, to have a body twisting like that, and to have all the undercuts and all the detailing all in a single piece is really rather very special. And this is our third chap. I reckon, yeah, that's cool. This is my favourite of the batch. Just what an amazing pose. He's got like some kind of katana weapon on the back there. He's carrying his trophies around with him. He's got it sussed. Very cool whip. It's like a alien tail whip wrapping around an alien skull. Weyland-Yutani logo on the scenery. And a very cool mask. That's really, really good. Absolutely excellent. Really nice detailing. Lot of character in that pose. Awesome stuff. It's nice to see a predator sort of hunkered down, surveying the landscape, ready to make its next attack. Lovely stuff. Really excellent. And that's it. That's our 3 miniatures. As always with these expansions, you get the cards and tokens that you need to play. We'll take a quick look at those. If I can open the bag. So I've never been that impressed with the quality of the cardboard tokens and things in Alien vs Predator, but they are perfectly functional. Just a little on the thin side, but we're so far down the line now in terms of production. Obviously each miniature has to come with its own ping tokens. They've settled on this thickness of card, and that isn't going to change. You get 1 for each character, and then we have 3 cards. These are the unit cards that tell you all the stats and obviously the various different attacks. We have my favourite, the Alien Predator Whip. He's got the shuriken, the spear gun, sword, and whip. So yeah, so that blade that I noted on the back on his belt is actually usable in game. It's not just there for decoration. And these are elite predators, so you know they've got 3 wounds. They have pretty decent armor. We have the elite predator with the scimitars. So we've got the shuriken, plasma caster, and dual scimitars. And finally we have the alien predator with the glaive. He also has a shuriken and the plasma caster, but he has the glaive. Oh, ceremonial dagger. So that's that serrated, jaggedy edge blade that we noted. Cool stuff. So there you have it. I believe the pre-order price for these guys is £30. However, if you order during the pre-order period, which runs for the rest of February, there is a pre-order bonus. You will get a female marine with a flamer. She's standing on a base with 2 alien eggs around her, obviously in a homage to a particular scene from the Aliens movie. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that miniature because I was only sent these Predator miniatures. I have contacted Prodos Games and asked if it is possible to order the Flamer Marine so that I can show you that model as well. Hopefully I will hear back from them and I will be able to do a follow-up video very soon. But if not, that's it from me. Hopefully you found this interesting. Like I say, I will put a link in the description so that if you want to go and buy these guys, you can go and do that. If you do, be sure to let Prodos Games know that you saw it here. And thank you very much for your time, everybody. Bye-bye, you lot.